Hello, welcome back once again. So, in today's lecture, we are trying to see the another question that was based on sliding window topics. So, let's try why we are using sliding window and testing how a beginner can think the brute force approach and how to break down this problem when you read this from your side. Okay. Like my advice is that first of all, read by yourself this question and try by your own. Okay. As like also I also studies on this basis. First of all, I try myself. So if I am fail or if I am stuck at any position, so then I see the video and the lectures or like any understand through the like all the different platform. So first of all, the question was like available on this LeetCode. Okay, the question name is like minimum window substring. So what is like you have a two string that is S and T of length and M. Okay, so and M respectively respectively. Okay, so once again I have this one. So respectively M and N. Okay, so return the minimum window as so we have to return the minimum window as so minimum window substring of S such that every character in T including duplicate including so every character in S is include in that window. Okay, so minimum length of the substring. Okay, minimum length of a substring, so in which like minimum window of a substring of S such that include all the character. If there is no such substring, just return this value empty. The test case will generate such that the answer is unique. So like test case, every answer is unique. Okay, what does it mean? So it's mean that you have we are given like two string S and T. Okay, and this might be a size of this M and this N. Okay, so we have to find the every character of every character of this string inside this S1. If it's not available, we have to return this empty string. If it is available, so return the minimum window. Okay, so before approaching to the this this whole substring, let's see. First of all, breakdowning this problem. So first of all, I can see that this is a substring. You are given the substring. So what you have to think first of all, given a string. So that is string. What are the strings we have? We have S, okay, and we have the T. Okay. So after thinking out this string S and T, so you have to remember all the property of the string that you can do. So it's simply like we are traversing on this like array. Okay. So S is a bigger strings. Okay, bigger like a big main string, and we have to search T's target string containing the characters. Okay, so like we have to find the character. Okay, so we have to find the character. So like finding things inside this thing, so it's simply like we simply giving a hint of this frequency map. Okay, counting frequency map, yeah, counting anything by reading you can understand. That's why like that's thing that you have to find this thing inside this S. Okay, and you have to find another thing that we are talking about in this question, that is substring. Okay, substring. So substring, so you know about and you know everything about the substring. So substring is a continuous sequence of a character inside this one. Okay, so if A B C D we have, okay, so in that case A is a substring, AB is a substring, ABC is a substring, okay, B is a substring, BC is a substring, and all this thing. Okay, for that for finding the substrings, two important thing we have to do. Okay, let's forget about the time complexity right now. So the two important thing is that starting index. Okay, start index, okay, that is I, and the ending index, that is J. Okay, so you have two things through you can find the substring. Okay, And after that you have, like in this question they are asking about the minimum window. Okay, so minimum window. So minimum window. So what is mean by the minimum window in this question? So minimum, we want a shortest length substring. Okay, minimum window will shortest length length substring. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so we need to track, so shortest length. So how you find a shortest? So after that you find that 3 is the shortest till now. So after that 2 become the shortest. So in that case you have to track that element. So you have to set mean element as a int max value. Okay, then and like mean element this one. Okay, so after that we have to update this thing. Okay, update this value. Okay, till now we understand everything. So like including, and also this question said that you have to include the duplicate. So like including the duplicate. So including the duplicates mean that if like if so if mean if t have any character, right, a b. Okay, so this mean that this character is repeating, so these are duplicate. So our valid substring must have at least 2 a n. So if we have to find in the s, so we have to at least find like a b, like this a c a b. So this is the substring you can, in which we see that this a is 2 time, okay, and b is 1 time, same as this one. So these are the things. Okay, the simple set check won't work. Like simply it giving hint that you don't use set. Okay, don't use set. Okay, set use is like a set won't check, or like we must compare frequency map. So in that, like comparing the frequency map. Okay, frequency map. Okay, so and the empty string. So if no substring in the s contain all the character. Okay, so like if there is, we can't find the substring in all characters, so in that case you have to return the empty string. So this is whole, this is what the whole question is, this one. Okay, so what write the approach for this one. So how a beginner think. Okay, so how the best algorithm for this one? So brute force approach. So this is, let's try the brute force approach. First of all, so we face within the find the shortest substring. So again this condition. So we have to like find the shortest substring. So like we have to find the shortest substring, and shortest substring that satisfies some specific condition. Okay, you see, like it is satisfying some specific condition. In that case, like a natural instinct, so we have to find and finding this kind. So whenever you see this pattern, find something based on this condition. So like for the brute force approach, think about the substring. So think about the substring thing. So after that, first approach is that what if I just test every substring? So like try all possible, try all possible, try all possible substring. Okay, so let's try all possible substring in like s. Okay, so one outer, for the outer loop that is we use that ith index. Okay, that is starting, which is like go to till m. Okay, as you said that the size of this s is equal to. Okay, and this like inner loop. After that, the inner loop inside this one, inner loop, that is j, is go till m. Okay, also m. Okay, so how do I, like next thing is that how do I check that substring contain all the character of the t. Okay, so we have the substring. How I check? So how I check this s of I, this till j contain all the character. contain all this character of all the character of t. So for that we have to make a like map, frequency map for t. So this is the approach. First one, we have to make a frequency map of this one. So like we have to and build a frequency map of this thing, and we also have to make the frequency map of this thing. Okay, frequency map of this till here. Okay, and check for the every character in the t. Okay, so if frequency of s of that character is greater than or is equal to frequency of that character inside the t of that character, so in that case it is correct, it is valid, okay, valid. And what if valid? So in that case we have to update the mean length. So this is our target. So this is how workflow flow. Okay, condition, try all possible of this one. Okay, then if we find, so again make a frequency map of s. Okay, frequency map of t, check the condition and update this mean length. Okay, so let's try to write the code. Okay, let's try to write the code for this one, brute force code in CPP, C++. So whenever who are the news, you can like check. Okay, so first of all I have to like we have to substring. Okay, first of all that is like int m is equal to, one second. Hello. Okay, so you can see here that is like m is the length of if you don't have given, so m is the length of s. Okay, so you can find, and int n is equal to length of this t. Okay, till here. Okay, so like so let me write inside this code for this one. Okay, so after that I will highlight. Okay, so like so I'm writing here. So like so this one. So int n is equal to s dot length. Okay, okay, I have to change this console. Okay, this is the first thing. Okay, after that we have to find this int m is given as the length of t dot length, length. Okay, so you can find this thing. Okay, after that if the size of this, what I think I like wrongly named this thing, it is like m, and this is n. Okay, so after that you have to like think with, if our like s is smaller, so f this m is smaller than this n, so in that case no t, like we can't find the t in this s, so in that case we have to return this empty array. Okay, so next move, so what we have to do, so we have to create, like we have to initialize that we have the mean length is equal to like minimum length is equal to int max. Okay, so we have to reduce all this thing. Okay, for before that we have to store all this before that we have to store all the character of the t into inside the map. So for map, so unordered map, unordered underscore map. Okay, so what we are storing, we are storing the character comma integer. Okay, so character comma integer, so that is the map for t. Okay, this is the map for t. Okay, so for how we so we use for auto loop. So okay, for auto over for auto it over what, t, and we have to increment so mp m map of t, that is it plus plus. So by doing this step, you can like increment all this character. So we all like add the character of this t inside the frequency map of this one. Okay, we initialize the min length, and after that what we have to do, we have to like a starting index. So starting index is equal to -1. Okay, so let's start with this, like a start the index I in the substring. So like I have to check for every substrings. Okay, so for int I 0 is equal to I less than what, we are moving on this s substring I plus plus. So after that we have to make an order map for every character. So unordered map, unordered unordered a map for the every character. So that's why we are writing this is map of that s. Okay, map of this s. Okay, so map for s is equal to here. Okay, so after that we have to like check for this thing. Okay, so int j starting from I, and j is like j less than what, j less than m. Okay, and j plus plus. So this is how we find the substring. Okay, so before like we have to increment that this thing. So inside the map of s, you have to increment s of j. Okay, plus plus. So by this process you have to add that thing. Okay, so now we have to check this is like this substring contain all the value of like all the values of like this t or not. So for that we have to make another function in which we have to store. So we have to check is valid. Okay, so is valid. So inside what we have to pass, map of s and map of, now we have to compare map of t. Okay, so map of t. Okay, so if it is valid, so in that case what we have to do, so int the current length is equal to current length. We have to check the current length. Okay, that is equal to j minus I plus 1. This is the current length. Okay, and if we check if this like this current length is like smaller, if this current length is like smaller than our max mean length. Okay, mean length. So in that case what we have to do, we simply have to update. Okay, we simply have to update. So the mean length is equal to current length. Okay, okay, and what is starting index, like starting index now become from the, now starting index like a starting index that now become to the like a ith index, that the I is there. Okay, okay, so if condition is there, otherwise we have to like otherwise we have to break from this one. Okay, break from this one, break from this condition. Okay, and finally what we have to do, like finally after that all this thing we have to return like we have to return if this starting return, what is this, like if a starting index, we have to, what is the final goal, our final goal is to return that substring. Okay, so our final goal is to like return idx. So if idx is equal to -1, so like idx is -1, so in that case you have to return the empty array. Okay, otherwise what you have to do, sub s dot sub strs. Okay, you know this function from what, like starting index to what is the minimum length, so like till this length. Okay, this is the minimum length, so till it will return. Okay, so this is the how I check. So let me write let me write this check condition. So I have write this condition, so I have to write the check condition too. Okay, so the check condition is for this one, like comparing the is valid or not. So first of all, like boolean function. Okay, so this one is the boolean function, so for that one is like is valid. So I'm writing here. So first of all I assume this. Okay, 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 so is valid. Okay, so inside what we have two maps. So in that case we pass like another map of s and another map like a map of like this thing, what we have to like, unordered we have the map s, okay, and the map t, okay. So we simply like we pass by reference. So after that we check for auto pair, or like auto pair, let we name as a pair. So over map t, okay, we have to check the character. So for character, like we have to like check the first character, this, so the pair dot, okay. So by which we can find the first character of this one, and int counted, and int count at pair dot second. By this one we can find the like how many element we have for this one, okay. Okay, so we have the values and this like count, okay. So now check if map of s having that character, okay, having that character is less than this, like we have the count. If less than this one, so we have to return the false, okay. Otherwise return true, okay. This is the case, okay. So one second. So sorry for inconvenience. So I'm taking too much time. So okay, this is the case. So you have understand thoroughly, like you understand. So how I valid check this thing. So this valid condition is like this is coming from this one. Okay. So this is the whole code. Okay, when you try a brute force approach, so this is the code. Okay. But the problem is that in this one is that this time complexity. So order of it like going to order of m square into that like condition for checking all this thing, okay. Like this is a condition for checking, okay. So that's why, and this space complexity is like this store the frequency map. So we have two maps, so like order of this one, this another map also, okay. So all this thing. So you have to like, we have to at least reduce this thing. Okay, so we can't like simply make try all possible values and check every pair and then return. Okay, so so for that one, there is like sliding window proper approach for this one. And why sliding window work here perfectly? So I have to justify this thing. Okay, I have to justify this thing, and then I have to like write the code for this one. Okay, okay. So like first of all, let me see. So what is the sliding window approach for this one? Wait for 1 second. So where we are? So why the sliding window work here? So first of all, thinking about why this first of all, you see that the time complexity. The main issue is that you always think about the time complexity. So let m square when m value is like too like very high and like very much big. So in that case, you are unable to find this thing. Okay, so it gets stuck. So for that, first of all, you have to reduce to this order of m. Okay, so the main target is due by this one. So why the sliding window approach hit in my mind? Okay, so like we have to see like it is strictly monotonic. So we are expanding the right side. Okay, we are expanding and moving on this this substring. Okay, for expanding we have using right pointer, adding the character, and can window get satisfy or maintain the required condition frequency for that t. And shrink, we use shrinking for this like left pointer. Okay, so removing the character from the window can never help to satisfy the condition, but once the window is valid, shrinking left help us to find. And so if we find our condition is valid, so in that case shrinking only help to find the smaller valid window. Okay, smaller valid window. Okay, so smaller valid window. So these are the things. So what are the strategies? So like write me the algorithm strategy. So for the algorithm, so the algorithm I am writing here is the first of all, you have to build first of all, we have to build this map of t to keep the store the frequency of t. Okay, and track we have to track the match count to keep the track of how many characters are unique in the tree. Okay, and expand another thing is like expanding the right pointer. Okay, and move the right pointer to add the new character. So if moving the right pointer to add new character. Okay, move the character into this like a map of s. Okay, and reach it required, so like increment. Okay, and shrink this left pointer. Okay, shrink the left pointer to remove the window. Okay, so like if we have if we find the required character, so in that case it's valid case, and then we have to find the mean length. Okay, if valid, so then we have to find the mean length. Okay, mean length. Okay, okay, mean length. And if it is if we have to remove this as of left anything, so you have to remove from the map of s2 also. Okay, if we increment this left pointer, so we have to do this thing. Okay, so let's see the code for this one. So let's see the code for this one. Okay. Code for the above one will look like. Okay. So I am adding this code here. Code look like this thing. Okay. So first of all, this optimized code. First of all, you have to make this. This need is like this need is the map of T, and this window is a map of S. Okay. So first of all, in the what are the need things that we have to add and take the frequency count of this map of T. Okay. So map of T and we count everything. And what are the things required? So required. So what is the required? Okay. So need dot size. So these are the size. So that much is needed. Okay. That much needed. And what are the form? So let's start with the left pointer. So let's start with the left pointer as initial 0. For mean length, we are like keeping the track of this one, and where we started every time it changes. Okay. So start the right pointer which moving on this S character. Okay. So first of all, extract that character, and inside the map of S, we are adding that we call as window. So in that case, we are adding, we simply we can do like window of this as of right. Okay, a plus plus. You can do same way. Okay. Okay. So first of all, we have to like check. Okay. So like first of all, we have to like so we have to check inside this inside this thing. We have to check this count. So in map of like if what are the need dot count, that thing we have to count it is exist, and window of C. So also like it is available, and the frequency of that character and the frequency of this character is matching. So in that case it formed. Okay. So it forms. So like form plus plus. Okay. What we have to do? So if it is valid case, okay, if it is formed, so formed is equal to what is the what are what are the required. Okay. So in that case we have to check right minus left. So right and minus left is equal to less than mean. Okay. So we have to update this this thing. Okay. And start is set as the at the left. Okay. And first of all, extract that character from the left and decrement this thing. Okay. Okay. If it's formed, then we have to reduce by one thing. So if it is like, if I remove this thing, if I remove an f of count, and this count, this frequency of this is less than become, in that case we have to like minus that we not form that thing. Okay. And again we move the left pointer. Okay. Now we are check. So mean length is equal to like int max. So if mean length is equal to int max, so this means that we can't find that substring. So in that case, you have to return this empty array. If you find that substring, so as dot as substr, where is the starting point and what is the mean length. Okay. Okay. So so this is a whole approach. So you can see that I can only moving here. I can moving only here on this over this one. So like order of m. This is time complexity or order of m. Okay. So like character and like no order of m plus n. So each character enter and leave window at most once. Okay. So for that one, order of like a time complete order of m plus n. Okay. So every character we are like tracking all this thing. Okay. And the space complexity, because the character is fixed. So character is fixed, the space complexity is like space complexity is the order of 1. So this is the time complexity and this is the space complexity. Okay. The two thing that we have to keep in our mind that is formed here. Okay. So if we have like increment that we think. Okay. Okay, so time complexity is the maximum distinct element of as or thing. Okay, so like this is equal to this order of 1 because like depend on the map we have created. So this is the final approach for this question, that is like 76. So we have to understand why we have to do this thing. Okay, that's all for this lecture. You have understand everything. Okay, bye bye.